Hi, and welcome back to the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame Legends Lounge. I'm your host, Dan Egan, and this is one of my favorite things to do is talk to the legends of the ski and snowboard industry to get their insight, their perspective of their time on top of the world. And today is no different. We have Kristean Porter with us, who recently was elected into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. Kristi was on top of the world as a world champion in combined in freestyle, aerials, and moguls, as well as ballet. And she has multiple world championship medals. To kick things off, as always, we're joined by the executive director of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame, Justin. Justin, how you doing today, my friend?
Dan, I'm great. How about you?
Yeah, doing great. And of course, the winter is here among us, and ski areas are open, and people are having fun, and it really gets things going. How's things up there in northern Michigan?
Always good, always cold. We've got the guns blazing at the mountains right now, so we're excited for that. We got a couple areas that are opening next week, so we're excited. Looking like we're going to have an early and great season, like we always do here in the UP.
And up there in the UP, of course, people live for winter. You guys are mad about it. And you're getting ready to head out there yourself, Justin, and visit some ski areas.
Yeah, we're heading out west so long as our good friend the pandemic allows. We're going to be hitting up Big Sky this year on a site visit. We're going to Jackson and swinging around, making the trip complete with visiting our friends in Park City and Sun Valley in January. So, and how could you not love the UP winters? They last 7.5 to 8 months long, Dan.
It's nonstop winter up there. Of course, that's what we all live for at the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. And of course, the pandemic has put a halt to our annual inductions. And in the class of 2020, Kristean Porter was recently elected into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. Tell us a little bit about Kristi, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, top of the world. Skiers and snowboarders that come into the Hall of Fame battle, fierce competition. We're juggling between 60 and 90 active nominations every year. Kristi's been knocking at the door with her amazing resume, gold combined 1995 world champion, and several other podiums, going all the way from 91 through 95. Amazing career. I'm sure she'll tell us a lot about it. What really strikes me is again constant evolution of skiers. Kristi was in that era that really brought free skiing to a big stepping stone to what it is today. And that's the cool thing with a lot of these athletes and non-athlete people that we elect. It's not only their resume and their competition careers and their wins and podiums, but just the force of change and evolution that brought to our sport new competition, and then that trickles all the way back into getting kids out on the mountains wanting to do the next tricks. I mean, aerialists always boggle my mind. I go to the World Championship at Deer Valley every year and watch these craziness happen. I to talk to somebody like Kristi and figure out what it's like in the air with these acrobatic maneuvers is exciting. I can't wait.
Well, a world champion and multiple time winner at world championships. We have Kristi Porter. Kristi, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
It's great to see you. Of course, you are a product of the East Coast, a Sugarloafer and Carrabassett Valley School. And what are your memories of skiing up there at Sugarloaf?
Oh man, well, the top memory that comes up to the top of my mind is skiing at 40 below. And just wondering, why are we doing this? No, but Sugarloaf was an amazing place, and I grew up there basically skiing since I was 6 years old, and spent time with my family, and then just sort of took it off from there. It was just a great experience.
Of course, you were a part of the U.S. ski and snowboard time in a time of transition for the entire sport, where ballet was still an Olympic sport and mogul skiing and aerialist was the combined. Tell us about that. What was it like to be a three-event athlete?
It was It was the only thing I really knew, because that's what I had always done. But it was difficult because, when everyone was done with their one day, then you still had 2 more days to go. If you were, ballet was Friday, mogul Saturday, and aerial Sunday, you didn't really get finished. But I liked the ability to change my focus on different things and do different things and try and be good at different things. So it was really fun.
Of course, ballet really is a dance and an expression. Aerialist is really acrobatic, and moguls is athletics. And for you, was there a common thread there between those three?
I had a little bit of a acrobatic background, not a lot. I certainly have zero dance background, so I'm not quite sure how I ended up there. And I've always been a good athlete. Everything I've done since I was little, I tried to be just like the boys and be as good as all the boys.
And then when you made it to the U.S. team level and the World Cup level, tell us about the stops in the World Cup tour at the time.
Oh, that was fun. I mean, in high school when I was on the NORAM team, we got to travel a little bit of the world, but definitely when you got to World Cup, it was significantly different. Everyone was in their moments and their minds and their focus. And then, at the end of the day, everyone was just great friends, and you met so many nice people and got to see so many amazing different places.
That must have been really cool, traveling the world like that, and yet being so active and so busy. What did you do to kind of center yourself to raise up for 3 days in a row of competitions?
Um, I don't know. It's just like I said, it's sort of the only thing I really knew how to do. I think we always had, I had someone in every sport that we would, or every field, that we would go and train together with, and it was, I think that's what really gets you going, is just to have your friends that you're going out and training with and doing your thing together.
In the '90s, when you won the World Championship, where was that?
Was that La Clusaz?
I think it,
See, you
Yes.
can ask me
Yes,
those
it was.
kinds of things.
it all blurs into one, does it?
It totally blurs in together.
But that's really quite a thing, right? To stand on top of the podium like that and the world. At the time, did you see it as a huge accomplishment, or was it just sort of your way to just another thing you had done?
No, because 94 and 95, I believe, are the ones that I got the 2 overall World Cups. And that was really amazing. And I've got good pictures of holding that big globe. And I still have those globes, up in our house. And it's just, you look at them and how can you not be proud of that?
And when you look back and have that perspective on that accomplishment, you know, what do you think now as far as like the time and the energy it took to get there as a young woman?
I'm fortunate that I had CBA to go to where we could ski 6 days a week. And when you do something that you love so much, it's really not even a chore. It's just, I don't know, you just go out and have a good time. And when you can do what you love, how can you not enjoy it?
Now, I know, of course, you still love to ski and you're still out there skiing quite a bit. Where do you ski now?
We ski at Purgatory in Durango, Colorado.
Beautiful, and that's a beautiful ski area. Um, for you, can you kind of sum up what you feel when you strap in and push off from the lift?
Now what I feel is just sort of taking it easy, although my husband will laugh at me and tell you that I try and go as fast and as hard as I always did. I love getting in the moguls now. Certainly not doing any, acrobatic or, jumps or anything like that. Although a couple of years ago, they did make a ski jump into an airbag and I got to flip, and it had been 16 years since my last flip, and it was super fun.
Wow, good for you. That's really amazing.
It was fabulous.
Now, of course, Justin was referring this earlier about the aerials. What was your move? What did you throw up there in the air?
So my biggest jump was a lay tuck tuck, so a triple flip, and my crew, myself and a couple of us others, we were sort of the pioneers for girls doing triples, which is definitely satisfying. And I went to the 2002 Olympics with one of my friends and watched them do the aerials with how far they had come from us. and was so glad that I wasn't doing it anymore.
You know,
Huh?
anytime that I went to the World Cup aerials and watched with the coaches on the knuckle, could you really hear the coaches up there when they were, calling for to tuck and to come out and all those sorts of commands?
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't so much the tuck they didn't do, but it was calling you on the out on when to come out, and you relied on them. I mean, obviously you see a little bit, but they're your person.
I think that, freestyle really set the bar for safety in a lot of ways, particularly in those steep landings. What was it like to land, in that really steep pitch coming from so high up?
Most of the time it was really smooth. I mean, you just sort of float right on into it. Now, if you did go past, you knocked yourself off and straight back up. But that transition and the way they, chop the knolls and make it nice and soft, it really worked out very well.
And that's a huge step from where we are now when you look at the terrain parks where the landings are not as calculated and not chopped out. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, my body just hurts when I think about that or when I watch it. Yeah, I don't know why I mean, I guess you really can't when you're going from jump to jump to jump. We just did a jump and then stopped at the end. And so, I mean, I guess if you tried to chop them, you'd interfere with the speed, I guess, on your next jumps.
It's really quite something. Now, of course, I love what you said earlier about that you still love to ski the moguls, as do I. And just talk about the transition of mogul competitions during your time on the team. Must have been there right when they first started introducing jumps. Rut line really developed. What did you see there?
When I was on it, it was definitely the rut lines into the jumps. You had your 3 lines you could choose from. And then shortly thereafter, I can't remember exactly what year, when, John Mosley started doing his off access stuff, and now they're flipping. And it just amazes me that they can do all of that in a mogul field that, I would do a simple, spread eagle or a daffy or, something so small. And now they're just getting big air. It's amazing to watch.
It's amazing to watch. And of course, Hannah Carney in her day was really crushing it. I was there to watch her ski in Sochi and to look at that course. From your time to her time, did the courses change much?
I don't know. I imagine that they're probably very similar. Every now and then you'd have some man-made courses. I remember in France they'd make them with the snow cats, and then you'd have your other courses that were sort of more naturally made. And I don't know how much they've changed, to be honest with you. I can't really answer that.
With all new school coming up and the kids skiing backwards and doing tricks backwards, to me, I draw a direct line to ballet skiing for that. And do you have a perspective on that? I mean, from the ballet with the crossovers and the spins and being so centered and everything that it took to be a ballet skier, it's not a big leap to see what they do now in the air and on the park.
No, it's not. And having said that, the way you just did, that makes a lot of sense how it sort of did progress to that with a little more excitement and, extreme, following where today's world is really going.
To be elected into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame is such a huge honor, and we're so happy to have you in the hall. Justin, tell us a little bit about the freestyle history of the Hall of Fame and who else is in there.
Yeah, we've got every legend that's blessed the slopes, Dan. We talked a little bit about Mosley. We talked beforehand about Trace Worthington, some of the legendary guys. Somebody that really comes to mind again, shaping the sport, is Hillary English, who we elected 2 years back, Dan, if you remember. Again, sort of paving the way, for moguls getting accepted at an eventual and now prominent, Olympic sport, and the list goes on. Again, with the competitors, the people that are out there making moves and showing the audience or spectators what's possible out of these sports as they evolve.
And of course, as part of your class, Christy, Bobby Burns was elected and will be inducted into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. And he talks about how he and his ballet skis with the ski company had turned up tails. And I'm wondering, what did you do? What skis did you use for ballet?
So I just had some Rossignol 140s, which always cracks me up too with how small the skis have gotten that we're skiing on now. I skied moguls 190s, the ballet 140s, and aerials 160s. But mine were not twin tips. They just had a normal ski with a light binding on it.
When you think back of your competition days and the victories and everything like that, can you kind of sum it up for us? What did it mean to you today to have that level of achievement?
Today it just sort of to me it makes me, of course, feel proud. I mean, how can you not feel proud? But it helps me to hopefully make my kids feel proud, and for them to want to strive to do the best that they can do in anything that they try. It doesn't matter whether it's skiing or golfing or school or whatever. I think it helps people realize that, set your mind to something and you can do exactly what you want to do no matter what.
Absolutely, Christy. Well, congratulations. We look forward to welcome you into the hall in person when we do the induction. And it's really quite something. You're somebody who I watched compete. You were one of the top competitors of my time when I was paying attention to the freestyle movement. And, it's really quite something because particularly when you talk about combined to be an overall skier, the discipline that takes in all three sports. It's something that I've always talked about as being lost now in the Olympics because everybody's becoming so specialized. Do you have any insight on that? Is when you see just how specialized all the different disciplines have become?
Yeah, I think, to be on the top now, I think you actually have to be specialized. It's nice to be able to put your focus in other places, but the jumps that people are doing are just, amazing, especially women who are doing exactly what the men are doing. Moguls are getting faster and more aggressive and doing bigger tricks. So, it's a shame that you can't do all three anymore, but I really do feel like you have to almost specialize to be on the top.
And do you still follow the U.S. Freestyle ski team?
I go here and there. I'm so busy with work that I sort of lose my way at times and forget what the important stuff is to step back and actually look at everything else that's been happening out there.
Well, they would be honored, I'm sure, if you ever stopped in and got to meet any of them, because you are such an inspiration. I want to thank you for joining us here in the Legends Lounge at the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. Once again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in person and paying tribute properly when we induct you into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much.